Now we'll discuss polity related questions in the mock test number 3. Question number 4. The first statement is about Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause G, which gives right to avocation as a fundamental right. We know that Article 19 applies only to citizens. So, it applies only to citizens. Article 19 applies only to citizens. And therefore, this statement is a correct statement. Then come to the second statement. Fundamental duties applies only to citizens. Fundamental duties does not include foreigners. Foreigners do not have any fundamental duty. Only Indian citizens have fundamental duty. So it is not applicable to foreigners is a right statement, which is correct. Both 1 and 2 are correct statements. Answer is C. Now go to res judicata. What do you mean by that? It means that an issue which has been settled, if you take up that issue again, a settled issue, if you take it again, it is already settled, no? So, that will only apply. Okay. Already settled things are settled. Don't bring already settled things and make it unsettled. That is what is the meaning of the term res judicata. A matter that has been finally adjudicated, meaning no further appeals by the involved parties, is now possible. So that is what is there. What we told, once settled is settled always. Don't unsettle the already settled things. And that is the answer for this question. The power of the judiciary to prevent an executive action, no. The situation arising that is not covered. So there is some sort of lacunae. To fill the lacunae, to fill the gap, court is having the power. This is lacunae concept. And this is what? It is called as English common law. It is called as English common law. Jus commune is the Latin word. Jus commune is the Latin word, which means a body of law created by judges and similar quasi-judicial tribunals by virtue of being stated in the written opinion. So this is the statement for common law which is practiced in Britain, English common law. Okay. So this is English common law, this is lacunae, and this is not there, and this is what is the answer for the question. Now go to the next question. Fundamental rights can be suspended. Sixth question, can be suspended only during national emergency, not state emergency. Fundamental rights are not sacrosanct. Yes, therefore it can be amended. Both parliament and state legislature can make law for prescribing punishment. No, state legislature does not have the power. Only parliament has the power. State legislature does not have the power according to Article 35, Clause A, Subclause 2. According to Article 35, Clause A, Subclause 2, only Parliament has the power to punish violation of articles mentioned in Part 3, not the state legislature. So, based on Article 35, Clause A, Subclause 2, state legislature should not come. So, this is wrong, second part, this is right, and this is wrong. So, answer is what? 2 only. Now, go to the next question. The next question is question number, yes, 22nd. We are going to the question number 22nd. Parliamentary committees, standing committees of parliament can hold meeting even without their mandated quorum. Yes, without quorum itself, some parliamentary committees or standing committees of parliament can function. There is no need for quorum. quorum comes only when they are going to vote, right? Quorum comes only when they are going to, take an important decision like voting. Otherwise, there is no need for quorum. The Secretariat of Parliament itself told there is no such concept of quorum in the routine meeting. Only in some crucial meetings quorums are needed. Otherwise, for routine meeting, there is no quorum needed for parliamentary standing committee. So, can hold meeting even without is a right statement. Quorum of all parliamentary committees 1/3. No, there are some parliamentary committees like the Public Accounts Committee, Committee on Public Sector Undertaking, Estimates Committee, where the quorum is 1/4, not the 1/3. So this is a wrong statement. Public Account Committee is the oldest committee. Yes, it was created in 1922. So first statement and third statements are correct statements. Answer is C. Now go to the next question. Under the Panchayat Extension Scheduled Area Acts, PISA Act, whose recommendation is needed? Parliament, Gram Sabha's recommendation is needed for this, right? So, governor comes only in case of the 6th schedule. Governor will notify an area as autonomous district. He will extend that area, he will reduce that area. So, governor is having power with respect to 6th schedule, that too with respect to autonomous districts. And under 5th schedule, governor will have to send report to the president about the administration of scheduled areas. So, according to PISA Act, this is the role of Gram Sabha. 1935 Act says residuary power is given to whom? The Governor General. That is the right answer. Factual question. Now, Advocate General of the state. The Governor appoints Advocate General, yes, receives remuneration fixed by Governor, not by the state legislature. All privileges and immunities are there for the Advocate General. The same provision you have for the Attorney General with respect to Parliament. Similar provisions are there with respect to the Advocate General as far as the state legislatures are concerned. When it comes to Attorney General of India, he is enjoying the privileges like Member of Parliament under Article 88 of the Constitution. But in this case, Advocate General is enjoying the immunities of State Legislative Assembly Minister, State Legislative Assembly Member, MLA, as given in Article 194, Clause 4. So this is same as that of Article 88. This is for Advocate General and this is for Attorney General of India. So this is right, this is wrong, 1 and 3 only. C is the right answer. Then go to 37 under 143. Supreme Court is bound to give advice. It is bound to give advice only for cases arising out of pre-constitutional treaties or law. So, otherwise it is not bound. President is not bound to advise, yes. So, answer is 2 only. For pre-constitutional treaty or law, any case emanating from this, Supreme Court is bound to give advice, but in that case also the President is not bound to act by the advice. Okay. And not in all cases they are bound to give advice. So, one is wrong because it applies only to pre-constitutional treaties or law, and the second statement is a right statement. So, 2 only is the right answer. Right to equality, incorrect we are asking, which is wrong. Rule of law, Article 14 comes under basic structure as a right. It lays down provision for reservation of seat. Is it reservation of seat mentioned in say Article 43, it is present in what? Article 330, 332, not in part 3. So this is wrong. What is wrong is asked. This is the right, because wrong is asked. This is wrong. So answer is B. The law implementing socialist directive under, yes, this is right according to Article 39C. Okay, not 39C, 31C. This is right. Both citizens and foreigners enjoy, yes. Article 14 applies to both. So wrong is asked, B is wrong. Deadlock. Article 108 very clearly says, if there is a deadlock, joint sitting will be convened by President. But after the communication is sent to the President regarding joint sitting, and the next day, before the joint sitting happens, if suppose Lok Sabha got dissolved, what will happen? Joint sitting will happen. Because before dissolution of Lok Sabha, communication has been sent by the President of India. So the dissolved members will go and sit in the joint sitting. And that is what is the answer according to Article 108 Clause 5. This is the right answer. So come to see this question 45. Joint sitting Australia, concurrent list also Australia, concurrent list also Australia, this is Australia, and suspension of fundamental rights during emergency, Germany. Ninth schedule, a new fact which is not there in the book, right? Ireland, from where only we have taken the ninth schedule. So this is right, this is right. So 2 pairs is the right answer. Now go to 40. Go to 46. Under which schedule of the Constitution the transfer of tribal land to private parties of mining can be declared null and void? Very obvious. 5th schedule. Samata case. Supreme Court said this. Samata case 1997. Go to 74. Office of Governor. No criminal proceeding. Yes. Article 361. Emoluments and allowance of Governor of the state shall not be diminished during his term of office. It is not under the central government. That is also the right answer. So when you go to the 74th question, Article 361 says first statement is right. Then second statement is right because of Article 158 Clause 4. And Supreme Court in 1979 stated that Governor is not a subordinate authority to the central government. He is not a subordinate one. He is an independent constitutional office according to Supreme Court. So this is right, this is right, this is right. All the 3 statements are right. Go to 75. Council of States, Rajya Sabha. No reservation. Yes. Council of State is not having a fixed tenure. Only MP Rajya Sabha has 6-year term, not the council, because it is a permanent house. So this statement is wrong. Attorney General can speak and take part in the proceedings of both houses of Parliament according to Article 88. Already we have told this. Article 88. So 2 is wrong. 1 and 3. Central Information Commission. Central Information Commissioner shall hold office for a term of 5 years. No, no, no. This is fixed by the central government, and he can hold office up to 65 years of age, not 5-year term. Submits report to President of India. No, to the central government. Okay, so both are wrong. Answer is Delhi. Both are wrong statements. But however, the CIC report will be tabled before the both houses of parliament is a right statement. This is wrong, this is right, but as a whole, second statement, first part is wrong, therefore it is wrong. Neither one nor two is the answer. Electoral bond. Only citizen of India or a body incorporated. Yes. Only registered political party which have secured 1% it becomes recognized. Yes. If the bond is not encashed within 15 days, it will go to where? PM relief fund. Yes. All the three statements are correct statement with respect to electoral bonds. Provisions related to regional languages. Governor can appoint a language which is not mentioned in 8th schedule as official language. No, this is wrong. Governor can do this only with respect to High Court, not with respect to official language of the state. Any language can be declared as official language of the state if law is made by the state legislature. So this is the right answer. 84th question. According to Article 345. Second statement is right. According to 348, only if High Court is mentioned, Governor can do that. It is not mentioning about High Court. So the first statement is wrong. The power is available only for state legislature with respect to adopting any language as official language. Only with respect to High Court, Governor with the consent of the President can authorize Hindi or any official language of the state as the court language of that High Court. Okay. So Governor applies only to High Court, and that too not any language can be declared by Governor as the official language of the state. Only official language of the state which is declared by the state legislature or Hindi can be authorized by the Governor to be used as the language of the High Court concerned, according to 348. So this statement is wrong because it is saying this power is there for Governor. No, this power is not there for Governor. Only with respect to High Court that power is there. That too, that language should not be any language. That language should be the official language of the state or Hindi with respect to High Court only. Okay. So answer is 2 only. Deputy CM is not mentioned. Yes, it is equivalent to state cabinet minister. There can be more than one deputy CM. Yes, definitely. In Andhra Pradesh and all, there are 5 deputy CMs. In UP, there are 2 deputy CMs. So this is also right. Answer is 1, 2 and 3. CBI, report of Sandhanam Committee, yes, 1963, operates under DOPT, that is also right. Exempted from the provisions of Right to Information Act, that is also right, based on section 24 of RTI Act. Section 24 of RTI exempts CBI from the ambit of the Act. So all the 3 statements are correct statements. Leader of opposition can be a non-member. Minister only can be a non-member, according to Article 75. Leader of opposition is a statutory body based on the 1977 Act. It says a member of the House. Non-member cannot be LOP. Only member of the House can be LOP. So this is wrong. Each house has its own LOP. Yes, it can have its own LOP. That is a right statement. So 2 only is the right answer. Now, identify the mistakes which you have committed. Note down the mistakes. When you revise the particular chapter, the particular concept or the topic, try to add on the new information which you have got through the test discussion. Now you have got around 20 days left for your examination. The most important thing is, don't get worried about the marks you are scoring in the test. It is not the mark which is important. Mark is only secondary or tertiary according to me. It is about how your mind is kept on the high alert mode through the test series. The purpose of the mock test is to put your mind on the high alert mode. When your mind is very consciously working, it is put on the active mode, a high alert mode. Your mind will be able to process the question of UPSC very easily because it is in the high alert mode. So to make your mind very active, we are keeping the test. Just don't get disappointed by the scores. Okay, identify the mistakes you are committing, find where you are going wrong. Maybe the processual aspect of you will have to be corrected. There are certain patterns of thought every individual has. I have a particular pattern of thought, you have a particular pattern of thought. Whether this particular pattern of thought is useful for me to select the right answer. If it is not useful to me, if my pattern of thinking is making me wrong, then I come to know that if I think like this, I make wrong. So I change my thinking. So that is how, for the processual aspect only, mock test is very important. Other than that, do not get demotivated by the low score you are getting. Be very confident. Next 15 days, it is not about your content that matters. It is about your confidence that is going to matter a lot. Believe that you can clear the examination. Don't think too much about the result. Every day we get tensed because when we see the result, we get tensed. Don't try to think about the result. Enjoy the process. You'll clear the examination for sure. All the best. Thank you.
Hi students, welcome to today's discussion. So in today's discussion, we will go accordingly with respect to the questions. Consider the following statements regarding the Simon Commission. So this is question number 1. Okay, what is the Simon Commission? We know they are of 1927. The Simon Commission, okay, they had the plan to visit India because in the year of 1919 Act, which means in the year of 1919, the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms, there was a provision which says after 10 years a statutory commission will visit India. This commission will check whether the existing constitution is fit with India or not, and it will look after the upcoming constitutional provisions. So this commission has to come in the year of 1929, but the commission came in 1927, and this commission, they are going to give the report to the British Parliament. So this thing all going to happen. Okay, so the continuation of the Simon Commission comes from 1930, 31 and also 1932. So Simon Commission report to the round table conference varudhu. Okay, Simon Commission British Parliament கிட்ட என்ன ரிப்போர்ட் கொடுத்தாங்களோ அந்த ரிப்போர்ட்டை தான் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போறாங்க. அந்த டிஸ்கஷன் தான் ரவுண்ட் டேபிள் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ். So we will see. So all the members of the commission were Englishmen. Yes, the Simon Commission came to India with it is an all-member Whites Commission under the chairmanship of Sir John Simon. Sir John Simon தலைமையில வந்தது Simon Commission. Yes. All the sections of the Muslim League, you see, all the sections, இவனே ஏதோ ட்விஸ்ட் வச்சிருக்கான். முஸ்லீம் லீக்ல அன்னைக்கு நிறைய டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃபேக்ஷன்ஸ் இருந்துச்சு. முகமது அலி ஜின்னா சார்பில் ஒரு ஃபேக்ஷன், அண்ட் ஓகே முகமது ஓகே சாமி அப்படின்னு இன்னொருத்தர் இருக்கார். ஸோ அவங்களுடைய தலைமையில் 2 ஃபேக்ஷன்ஸ் இருந்துச்சு. பட் த ஃபேக்ஷன் ஆஃப் முகமது சாமி, okay, they didn't participate, which means all the sections of the Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha opposed it அப்படின்றாங்க. Okay, all the section of the Muslim League என்றதே வராது. முகமது அலி ஜின்னா தலைமையில் இருக்கக்கூடிய முஸ்லீம் லீக் and Hindu Mahasabha, they opposed to Simon Commission. That is a true statement. Okay, all the section வராது, wrong. This commission recommended dominion status for India. No. Okay, இந்த கமிஷன் டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் பத்திலாம் பேசவே இல்லை. ஓகேவா? முதல் தடவை பிரிட்டிஷ் டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் கொடுக்குறோம் அப்படின்றத எப்ப கேட்டிருக்காங்க, எப்ப கேட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு, எப்ப சொன்னாங்க அப்படின்னா, ஓகே, 1940 ஆகஸ்ட் ஆஃபர்ல தான் டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் பத்தி பேசுறாங்க. ஓகே, ஆகஸ்ட் ஆஃபர்ல 1940ல தான் டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் கொடுக்குறோம்னு பிரிட்டிஷ் சார்பா ஒரு வார்த்தையை விட்டுறாங்க. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி வரைக்கும் டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் பிரிட்டிஷ் கொடுக்குறேன்னு சொல்லலை. இந்தியன்ஸ் டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் கேட்டது 1928ல தான், நேரு ரிப்போர்ட்ல. அப்போ டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸுக்கும் இதுக்கும் சம்பந்தமே கிடையாது. சரிங்களா? ஸோ இந்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் உங்களுக்கு புரியணும். The statement 3 says, statement 3 என்ன சொல்லுது? The commission recommended dominion status. இதை என்ன புரிஞ்சுக்கணும்? இந்தியன்ஸா டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் வேணும்னு கேட்டது நேரு ரிப்போர்ட், பிரிட்டிஷா டொமினியன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் நாங்க கொடுக்குறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது ஆகஸ்ட் ஆஃபர். ஸோ இந்த தேர்ட் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டுக்கு சம்பந்தமே கிடையாது. கோ ஃபார் எலிமினேஷன். செகண்ட் ஆல்சோ வில் ஓன்ட் டு கம். ஸோ ஆன்சர் இஸ் ஏ. One only is the answer. Next, no taxation without representation. நான் ஏற்கனவே சொல்லியிருக்கேன். Look, if you take the history of Indian National Congress, the first phase is moderates. We say the moderate phases from 1885 to 1905. Okay, we say the moderate strategy was prayers, petitions, and protest. Okay, we say the moderates are, okay, they were all the economic critics of British. அப்போ moderates இந்தியாவில், though their ideology was moderate ideology, அவங்க இந்தியாவில் என்ன கேட்குறாங்க அப்படின்னா கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷனல் ரிஃபார்ம்ஸை கேட்டாங்க. The moderates demanded for the political reform, constitutional reforms, Indianization of administration. அப்போ இந்த moderates என்ன பண்றாங்க? அமெரிக்கன் இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் வார், தட் இஸ் அமெரிக்கன் வார் ஆஃப் இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ்ல, ஓகே, நோ டாக்ஸேஷன் வித்வுட் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் டேர்ம் அமெரிக்கன் இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் வார்ல யூஸ் பண்ணாங்க. அதை இந்தியாவில் கேட்குறாங்க மாடரேட்ஸ். ஓகே, அப்படின்னா என்ன மீனிங் அப்படின்னா, நோ டாக்ஸேஷன் வித்வுட் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் அப்படின்றது இவங்க கேட்கறது என்ன? இட் இஸ் an electoral reforms பத்தி பேசுறாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ இவங்க ரெப்ரசன்டேட்டிவ் பாலிடிக்ஸை பத்தி பேசுறாங்க. அதனாலதான் நோ டாக்ஸேஷன் வித்வுட் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன்றாங்க. அப்போ எலக்டோரல் ரிஃபார்ம்ஸ் மாடரேட்ஸ் கேட்குறாங்க. இது பிரிட்டிஷ் எந்த ஆக்ட்ல அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா, இட் வாஸ் த இந்தியன் கவுன்சில் ஆக்ட் ஆஃப் 1892. ஏன்னா இந்த ஆக்ட்ல தான் இந்த இன்டைரக்ட் எலெக்ஷன்ஸ் அப்படின்றது வருது. என்ன வருது? இன்டைரக்ட் எலெக்ஷன்ஸ் அப்படின்றது வருது. ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட். Which of the following city was established with the assistance of the lottery committee? இதெல்லாம் fact. Okay, which of the following 1817 கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. அப்ப எலிமினேஷன் போனீங்கன்னா you can go for, okay, மெட்ராஸ். ஏன்னா மெட்ராஸ் அப்படின்றது 1688லே மெட்ராஸ் was the first corporation, municipal corporation, right? So மெட்ராஸ் வர்றதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு கிடையாது. 1817 வரை கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. Okay, you see Chandigarh developed in the 19th century. Second half, it was not in the first half of the 19th. 1817 அப்படின்றது என்ன அப்படின்னா 19வது நூற்றாண்டுடைய முதல் பகுதி. அப்போ லாட்ரி கமிட்டின்னு வேற கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. எந்த சிட்டி லாட்ரி கமிட்டி என்ன டிஃபைன் பண்ணுச்சு அப்படின்னா, கல்கத்தாவை மாடர்னைஸ் பண்றதுக்காக. So the city Calcutta has to be modernized based on the British aspects. So அதுக்காக ஏற்படுத்தப்பட்ட கமிட்டி தான் the lottery committee. So based on the recommendation of the lottery committee, the city Calcutta was developed, but not Madras, Bombay or Chandigarh. So answer is Calcutta. Next, okay, All India Women Conference was founded by Annie Besant. Listen, All India Women Conference la Annie Besant was a participant. Annie Besant was a women reformer. அதெல்லாம் நம்ம மாற்று கருத்துக்களே கிடையாது. பட் இந்த ஆல் இந்தியா விமன் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் வாஸ் ஃபவுண்டட் பை, ஓகே, அன்னி பெசன்ட்னு வராது, இட் வாஸ் மார்கரெட் சிஸ்டர்ஸ் அப்படின்னு ஒருத்தவங்க. மார்கரெட் சிஸ்டர்ஸ், தே வர் ஆல் த ஃப்ரீடம் ஃபைட்டர்ஸ். ஃப்ரீடம் ஃபைட்டர்ஸ் இன் த சென்ஸ் தே வர் ஆல் அ லிபரல் ஃப்ரீடம் ஃபைட்டர்ஸ் கூட சொல்லலாம். மோஸ்ட்லி வென் கம்பேர்ட் டு ஃப்ரீடம் ஃபைட்டர், we can say they were all women reformers, Margaret sisters அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So this Margaret sisters, okay, in the year of 1927, okay, Margaret, okay, இந்த Margaret sisters தான் வந்து இவங்கள சொல்றாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ அதனால அந்த டைம் பீரியட்ல 1970s to 1927ல இந்தியாவில் நிறைய விமன் ரிலேட்டட் ரிஃபார்ம்ஸ்லாம் வந்திருக்கும். முக்கியமா மிஸ்டர் கார்வே ஹஸ் ஃபவுண்டட் த விமன் யூனிவர்சிட்டி. ஓகே, டார்த்தி தினஜின ராஜா அப்படின்னு இன்னொருத்தவங்க இருந்தாங்க. ஓகே, துர்கா பாய் தேஷ்முக், இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய விமன் ரிஃபார்மர்ஸ் இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ ஆல் இந்தியா விமன் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் வாஸ் ஃபவுண்டட் பை Margaret sisters, but not by Annie Besant. Roshni was the journal published by the conference. Yes, Roshni அப்படின்றது ஓகே பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க அப்படின்றது உங்களுக்கு தெரியுது. இது கரண்ட் அஃபேர்ஸ் ரோஷினி. ஸோ ஆல் இந்தியா விமன் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் 1927, மார்கரெட் சிஸ்டர்ஸ், ரோஷினி அப்படின்னு ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோ. நெக்ஸ்ட், ஜவஹர்லால் நேரு, சிஆர் தாஸ், மதன் மோகன் மலாவியா, முகமது அலி ஜின்னா, லாலா லஜ்பத் ராய், இவங்கள்ல யாரு ஹோம் ரூல் லீக் ப்ரோக்ராம்ல இருந்தார்? இது ரொம்ப ஒரு ட்விஸ்ட். இத பாருங்க, இந்தியாவில் ஹோம் ரூல் மூவ்மெண்ட் அப்படின்றது 1915ல ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாங்க. இத காங்கிரஸ் உடைய 2 தலைவர்களுமே, ஒன்னு மாடரேட் லீடர், இன்னொருத்தவங்க எக்ஸ்ட்ரீமிஸ்ட் லீடர்ஸ். ஏன்னா இந்த சமயத்துல காங்கிரஸ் இன்னும் ஒன்றிணையல. 1916ல தான் காங்கிரஸ் ரீயூனியன். அப்போ மாடரேட் லீடர் யாருன்னா அன்னி பெசன்ட், அண்ட் எக்ஸ்ட்ரீமிஸ்ட் லீடர் யாருன்னா மிஸ்டர் இந்த டைம் பீரியட்ல மிக முக்கியமான எக்ஸ்ட்ரீமிஸ்ட் லீடர். ஓகே, ஸோ திலக், பாலகங்காதர் திலக். அப்போ பாலகங்காதர் திலக், அன்னி பெசன்ட் இவங்களுக்கு எந்த இஷ்யூவும் கிடையாது. தீஸ் லீடர்ஸ் they wanted the national movement has to be in a gale. national movement தொடர்ந்து எங்கேஜா இருக்கும்னு நினைச்சாங்க. அதனால so Tilak started home rule movement at Maharashtra, Karnataka and central part, whereas the remaining parts of India started by Annie Besant. அப்போ தலைவர்கள் இவங்களுக்குள்ளார எந்த இஷ்யூஸும் கிடையாது, பட் இவங்க ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ இதுல மாடரேட்ஸும் ஜாயின் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க, எக்ஸ்ட்ரீமிஸ்டும் ஜாயின் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. மாடரேட் லீடர்ஸும் இருக்காங்க, எக்ஸ்ட்ரீமிஸ்ட் லீடர்ஸும் இருக்காங்க. அப்படி பார்க்கும்போது பாருங்க, ஜவஹர்லால் நேரு, his father Motilal Nehru also participated. Chittaranjan Das, an extremist leader, also participated. Madan Mohan Malviya, okay, so this Madan Mohan Malviya, he was a moderate leader. Okay, Madan Mohan Malviya na edo extremist leader, fanatic la nenikadinga. He was a moderate leader, but he founded an organization which was called the Hindu Mahasabha, okay, to support the Hindu ideology. That's different. Muhammad Ali Jinnah support பண்ணிருக்கார் பாருங்க. 1920க்கு மேலதான் முகமது அலி ஜின்னா was a Muslim League leader. This Muhammad Ali Jinnah was he was in காங்கிரஸ்ல தான் இருந்தாரு முகமது அலி ஜின்னா. ஓகே, ஹிந்து முஸ்லிம் யூனிட்டி. முகமது அலி ஜின்னா remembered for ஹிந்து முஸ்லிம் யூனிட்டி அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சொல்றாங்க. he was Hindu. Why? Because he was the ambassador of Hindu Muslim unity ன்னு சொல்றாங்க. And லாலா லஜ்பத் ராய் அப்படின்னு இன்னொருத்தர் இருக்காரு. So லாலா லஜ்பத் ராய், he was also extremist leader. So everyone participated. Okay, fine. Next, Mailadum-Pare recently in news. Okay, we actually the Mailadum-Pare, you see, Paleolithic Iron Age site, oldest fortified settlement, Sangam era settlement. Listen, Mailadum-Pare, why it was in news means it was an Iron Age site. Many people say that Iron Age starts in the period of Aryans. That is what still it was remembered. But Mailadum-Pare was in Krishnagiri district of Tamil Nadu, which says that, okay, in the later Vedic period itself, okay, around some 2000 BC on itself, Solapona, even before the Aryans period, the iron usage was there in South India. Okay, that is what Mailadum-Pare. It is not Mailadurai, it is Mailadum-Pare. It was in the Krishnagiri district of Tamil Nadu. Krishnagiri district of Tamil Nadu. Next, who among the following leader was mentioned by Balagangadhar Tilak as the diamond of India, the jewel of Maharashtra? This prince of workers is taking eternal rest on the funeral ground look at and try to emulate him. So யார் பாலகங்காதர் திலக் யாரை சொல்றாரு? Firosha Mehta இருக்கு, Gopalakrishna Gokhale, Badruddin Tayabji and Dadabhai Naoroji. The answer is Gopalakrishna Gokhale. Gopalakrishna Gokhale was a moderate leader. Understand? He was a moderate leader. Moderate leader from Maharashtra. He was a professor. People call him as professor. People call him as Professor Gopalakrishna Gokhale. அப்படின்னா அவர் சொல்லுவாங்க. This Gopalakrishna Gokhale, he was the mentor of Gandhi, political mentor, and he founded the Servants of India Society. And Gopalakrishna Gokhale remembered for 1908 Minto Morley reforms. Minto Morley reforms. Okay, so this leader, on his death, okay, our beloved Balagangadhar Tilak said that he was the diamond of India, the jewel of Maharashtra. Okay, Gopalakrishna Gokhale. Next, consider the following pairs. They have given Jyotirlinga sites and state. Mallikarjuna Swami temple was not in Karnataka, it was in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, was Sri Sailam Hills. Sri Sailam. It is not Seshasalam, it is Sri Sailam. Mallikarjuna Swami temple. Bhima Shankar in Maharashtra, yes. Omkareshwar in Madhya Pradesh, yes. Kashi Vishwanath. Kasi in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, Kashi Vishwanath probably in Uttar Pradesh, right? So answer is 3 pair only correct. Okay. Got it? Fine. So Mallikarjuna Swami, okay, it was in, yeah, fine. Next, with reference to the medieval Indian history, the third Zama and Hasil. இது எப்படி நீங்க கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம்னா, it is a land revenue system. Why the name Hasil? Okay, there was a tax called Hasil-i-Sharab. This tax was collected during the period of Firozshah Tughlaq. Firozshah Tughlaq periodல இந்த டாக்ஸை கலெக்ட் பண்ணாங்க. ஹாசில் அப்படின்னாலே டாக்ஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ இந்த ஹசில்-i-ஷராப் அப்படின்றது வாட்டர் டாக்ஸ். அப்போ நீங்க எப்படி ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கலாம் அப்படின்னா, ஹாசில் அப்படின்னா ஏதோ டாக்ஸ் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். ஸோ இட் இஸ் அ லேண்ட் ரெவென்யூ சிஸ்டம். இந்த ஹாசில்-i-ஷராப் அப்படின்றது வாட்டர் டாக்ஸ், பட் ஹாசில் அப்படின்னாலே இட்ஸ் அ ரெவென்யூ டாக்ஸ்ன்றது தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஓகே, ஸோ ஆன்சர் இஸ் டி. In which of the following sculpture inscription Ranyo Ashoka? It's a previous year question also. Okay, Ranyo Ashoka. Okay, அப்படின்னு எங்க இருக்குன்னு கேக்குறாங்க. கங்கனஹள்ளி, கர்நாடகா. கர்நாடகால இருக்கக்கூடிய கங்கனஹள்ளியில அசோகாவை பத்தி மென்ஷன் பண்ணிருக்கு. ரன்யோ அசோகா, லாங் லிவ் அசோகா. Okay, fine. Who among the following was author of Mahabhashyam? Very good. Answer is Patanjali Munivar. This Patanjali founded Yoga Sastra. Okay, this Patanjali was also the one who had knowledge in Sanskrit. So his work Mahabhashya associates with Mahabhashyam Patanjali. In the option கொடுக்கும் பொழுது Panini, many people think Panini was also a grammarian. Okay, but he was not a but he also a grammarian. But Panini wrote Ashtatyayi. Panini wrote what? Ashtatyayi. Okay, then next. Skirnai festival, it was in news. So Skirnai festival in news, it was with respect to Nagaland. Okay, in Nagaland, the Angami Nagas, they used to perform this ritual festival called Skirnai. So these are all the current affairs. Newspaper la அதிகமா வந்திருக்கு. So அதனால don't go for Manipur. Okay, this Skirnai festival was famous in, okay, Nagaland, the Angami Nagas. Nagaland இருக்கக்கூடிய people Nagas. So Nagasலே O Nagas, Angami Nagas னு ரெண்டு குரூப் இருக்காங்க. இதுல இந்த Angami Nagas உடைய ஃபெஸ்டிவல் தான் என்னன்னா இந்த Skirnai festival. Next, the Statue of Prosperity பாருங்க, there was a statue of unity. Okay, correct. There was a statue of liberty. Okay, now the statue of prosperity, which was often seen in news, associates with, okay, Kempegowda. Because Kempegowda, if you go to Bangalore, you can see Kempegowda bus station. Okay, Kempegowda was a general. Okay, Kempegowda was a general. Okay, from Bangalore, Karnataka region. He was a general of Vijayanagar. Okay, so this Kempegowda was remembered for it actually. He has built many dams. It is said that the Bangalore city was developed because of this Kempegowda. So Kempegowda was considered to be, he was the statue of prosperity. Okay, fine. Others and all, Basavanna, he belonged to 12th century. He was a Bhakti reformer, a Bhakti reformer, a Bhakti period reformer. Okay, Akka Mahadevi, also another one. Tyagaraja, Saint Tyagaraja was the pioneer of Carnatic music. Foreign traveler Nunes came to India during the reign of Vijayanagar. Yes, correct. This Nunes from Portuguese. He was from Portugal. He is the contemporary of Marco Polo. No, Marco Polo, he visited India in the 13th century. Marco Polo was the contemporary of, okay, there was a women ruler of Deccan. There was a Kakatiya dynasty. In the Kakatiya dynasty உடைய women ruler, okay, Rudrama Devi. So he was the contemporary of Rudrama Devi, Marco Polo. Okay, but he was not the this known as somewhat a different person, right? So which of the following statements are correct? Okay, this known as was not the contemporary of Marco Polo. So answer is A. Next, it was during the reign of Krishnadevaraya, the Alfonso de Albuquerque captured Goa. Goa captured by Alfonso Albuquerque from Vijaypur Sultan in 1510. Okay, so that time period was the time of Krishnadevaraya. Yes, of course. It was during the reign of Alauddin Khalji that the Genghis Khan. No, it was during the time period of Iltutmish. Okay, it was during the time period of Iltutmish that Genghis Khan entered on the border of river Indus. This is correct. Which means it has to come as Iltutmish, not Alauddin Khalji. So answer is A only. Next, Maitrakas are the rulers of Gujarat, Vallabi. மைத்ரகாஸ் அப்படின்றவங்க போஸ்ட் குப்தன் பீரியட்ல குஜராத்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய வல்லாபியர் ரூல் பண்ணாங்க. ஓகே, எஸ், they were the ardent follower of not Jainism, Shaivism. ஓகே, மைத்ரகாஸ் அப்படின்றவங்க they were all the ardent follower of Shaivism. ஸோ இனிஷியலா இவங்கெல்லாம் சைவிசத்துக்கு தான் இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. சரிங்களா, ஃபைன். நெக்ஸ்ட், the spiritual songs of Tukaram. Tukaram அப்படின்றது மகாராஷ்டிராவை சார்ந்த பக்தி செயின்ட். Tukaram யாரு? மகாராஷ்டிராவை சார்ந்த பக்தி செயின்ட். ஓகே, வேர் த டிவோட்டி ஆஃப் லார்ட் விதோபா. விதோபான்றது லார்ட் விஷ்ணுவை குறிக்கும். மகாராஷ்டிரால விதோபா அப்படின்னு ஒரு டெம்பிள் இருக்கு. ஸோ அது விஷ்ணு டெம்பிள். ஸோ இது கரெக்ட். சாண்ட் துகாராம் மகாராஜ் கதா டெம்பிள் இஸ் லொகேட்டட் ஆன் த பேங்க் ஆஃப் ரிவர் வகோரா. கிடையாது, வகோரா அப்படின்ற இடத்துல கிடையாது. ஓகே, ஸோ இந்திரதாயி அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு வரும். ஸோ சொல்ல போனா இட்ஸ் அ பிளேஸ் நியர் பூனே. இட் இஸ் நாட் ஆன் தி பிளேஸ் வகோரா ரிவர். வகோரா வராது, இந்திரதாயி அப்படின்னு வரும். இந்திரதாயி. ஓகே, ஸோ ஆன்சர் இஸ் ஓகே, இட் வாஸ் ஏ ஒன்லி. ஓகே, next, which of the following monument was established earlier? ஓகே, குதுப் மினார்னு எடுத்துக்கோங்க. இது நீங்க இயர் வச்சே படிக்க தேவையில்ல. குதுப் மினார் இப்போ நீங்க எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா இட் வாஸ் ஒன்லி ஆஃப்டர் டெல்லி சுல்தானேட். 1006 அப்புறமாவா. சிரி, இதுவும் டெல்லி சுல்தானேட் தான் இல்லையா. சிரின்றது டெல்லியில இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு சிட்டி. அலாவுதீன் கில்ஜி பீரியட்ல கட்டினது. அலாவுதீன் கல்ஜி பீரியட்னாலே 1290 to 1320. Moti Masjid was in Delhi. Okay, Moti Masjid was built later. நம்ம Mughals period படிச்சிருக்கோம். But Anangtal Lake was earlier. It was built. Anangtal Lake அப்படின்றது okay, இந்தியாவுல it was built even before. ஓகேவா, it was built in the 11th century ன்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஓகேவா, so Anangtal Lake has to come. It has to come earlier, but not others. Okay, fine. So that's the end of the session. Okay, we will see okay the discussion in the next discussion. நம்ம next பார்ப்போம். Take care. Bye.
Right. So today we will be taking up the discussion for mock test number 3. So there are around 20 questions related to Indian economy. Okay. So look at the first question. It asks about the context of a recent relaxation of the ECB norms, external commercial borrowings, the ECB. Why has the RBI relaxed these norms and what are the following outcomes? Okay, so one, curbing the imports and increasing. So what is the correct answer for this? Option B, to increase the supply of foreign currencies and also to prevent the rupee from depreciating. So last year, India has witnessed a depreciation of Indian rupee. So in order to curb that and to allow more dollars to flow inside, the government of India, especially the RBI, has been relaxing the ECB so as to allow Indian firms from borrowing more from the other countries, especially in terms of dollars, and that will come in through the capital side of the balance of payment. So when we have more money flowing in through the capital side, then it will be able to offset any kind of outflows. For example, in the FPI, foreign portfolio inflows are going out. So how to curb this? We should allow more money to flow in through the capital side, especially through the ECB route. That's why it is the correct option. All the other thing are incorrect. Okay. So for question number 1, the answer is B. So question number 2, the statement is regarding sovereign gold bonds. Minimum investment in the bond is 1 gram. Maximum investment is 4 kgs. This is a correct statement. Second, the interest rate of the SGB varies as per the current market price. This is incorrect because we have stipulated that it will be 2.5%. Okay, so this is a basic fact that you should have known. You should have removed 2. Now, SGBs can be used as collateral for loan. Whether this is right or wrong, yes, of course, this is also correct. Sovereign gold bond, if you have, it has a period of 8 years. For example, you want some liquidity or a loan from the bank, then you can use it as a collateral. So 1 and 3 are correct. So question number 3 regarding currency war. Recently, this context has been asked because of the fears of currency war, especially by China, which can devalue its currency against dollars. So one, currency war denotes a scenario where countries want to devalue their currencies. Of course, it is right. Reverse currency war means strengthening their currencies, or of course, it means the opposite of devalue is revaluation. Okay, so when that's the difference, that's the main difference between a currency war and a reverse currency war. So question number 2, statement number 2, if you could read, the possible impact of devaluating currencies could be increased imports and decreased exports. This is wrong because we devalue currency on the thinking or on the basis that it may boost exports. So 2 is incorrect, 1 is correct. Question number 3. So question number 7, this is regarding a trend, a data-based question. Nepal is the largest export partner of India among South Asian countries. This also I have lifted out on the basis of the previous year question because last year government had asked about the trade relations between India and Bangladesh. So what is the largest export partner of India in South Asian countries? That is Bangladesh, not Bhutan. That's not Nepal. Okay. So Bangladesh. After Bangladesh only you will have Nepal. So this is among neighboring, Bangladesh is the largest. Okay. USA has become the biggest trading partner. Understand, there is a slight difference between export partner, import partner, and trading partner. Trading partner here combines both export as well as import. Which is the India's largest export partner in terms? It's of course United States of America. Okay, so USA is the largest export destination of India, and therefore owing to that, and also because we have been increasing imports for the first time in recent decades, not only first time, throughout history, this is the first time where USA has beaten China to become the largest or the biggest trading partner of India. This is a news. Understand, USA becoming the largest or becoming the superlative in terms of trade is a news. It's a very new news. And therefore, look at the question here. It says about the last 5 years. No, this happened in the year 2021, towards the fag end of this 2021 year, and in 2022. And that too in 2021, only for a quarter, USA had beaten China. In 2022, for the throughout the year, there has been estimates that USA has beaten China to become the largest trading partner. And for this is partially true, and it is wrong because of the word last 5 years. Okay, so it's not for the last 5 years, it is only for the last 1 or 1.5 years. Okay, so this you should have known. 1 is incorrect, 2 is also incorrect. So neither 1 nor 2. Which of the following are likely to happen due to inflation? Likely, this is the question. Okay, 1, higher interest rate. Of course, whenever there is an inflation, then there could be a possibility of the interest rate becoming higher. Circulation of inflation indexed bonds. Circulation of inflation indexed bond. Is this a possibility? Yes. Whenever the inflation is high, then the demand for inflation indexed bonds could also be high, and therefore this is also a possibility, likely. Can you say that real wages will likely increase? See, maybe here you could be thinking that only nominal wages will increase, and when nominal wage increase, then the government should counteract that by bringing DA and all. See, that will lead one to the other. We should only confine our thought process to the immediate step, and therefore real wages is not likely to happen. It's the most unlikely to happen, and therefore you have to remove 3. So remove 3, you get 1. Sorry, I think, yeah, then it is 1, 2 and 4. I think the option will be 1, 2 and 4. Okay, the answer for this will be 1, 2 and 4. I think it was corrected in your key, in your question, 1, 2 and 4. Okay. High economic growth in the short term is also a possibility. Now, regarding National Rail Plan, it aims to increase the share of railways to 75% is incorrect. The current percentage is 27%, and we are aiming to increase up to 45% by 2030. You should have known this fact, because 75% is a vast exaggeration here. Okay, so therefore 1 is incorrect. If you remove 1, you get the answer 2 and 3. Reducing this and increasing the speed of freight train to 50 kilometers, reduce the overall cost of transportation by 30%. These are all targets that we have been establishing under the National Rail Plan. So question number 31, which of the following are submissions of National Skill Development Mission? This I have asked on the basis of the recent CDS exam asked by of the UPS. They have also asked a similar question here. Okay. So the answer for this is 1, 2, 3, 4. All of this. You may have a doubt regarding overseas employment, but overseas employment is also a part of the National Skill Development Mission. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Option B. Question number 32. The unemployment that occurs due to changes in major technological changes or policy changes can be counted as structural unemployment. Okay, whenever there is a drastic change in the pattern of employment, for example, due to services booming up, there could be a mass unemployment, say in the industries or in the agriculture. This kind of structural shift is called as structural unemployment. What are authorized dealer banks? What are authorized dealer banks? They are banks authorized by the RBI to deal in foreign currencies. This is the correct option. Okay. Question number 34. Additional tier 1 bonds, AT1 bonds, are unsecured bonds that they can shore up in order to meet the Basel III norms. Yes, it is correct. Additional tier 1 bonds don't carry any maturity date and they are perpetual in nature. This is also correct. Okay, so both of them are related to the recent AT1 issue that we saw in the context of the Yes Bank also. Okay, so 1, 2, both are correct. So the option is 1 and 2. Question number 55. With reference to Monetary Policy Committee, 1. Which of the following are functions of the Monetary Policy Committee? These, what are the functions? First, controlling inflation. Yes, this is a mandate that we have given. Maintaining the price stability. Yes, this is also one of the mandates of MPC. Changes in the policy rate. Yes, of course, the repo rate will have to be decided by the MPC. Determining the inflation target. That is, today we have a target. What is the target? 4 plus or minus 2%. Who decided this 4%? Did the MPC do? No. We had a separate committee, Ujit Patel committee recommended that, and we have mandated the MPC, constituted the MPC with the sole function that it should adhere to the target that has been imposed. And the target was also till 2021, but due to COVID, we have extended that 4% target. Maybe in the near future, the government will constitute a separate committee or a separate technical group, and they will arrive at the target. Adhering to the target is the role of MPC, not determining the target. And therefore, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, right. So, question number 66. 15th Finance Commission have asked similarly on the lines of the UPSC question. UPSC, they have asked similar questions. Okay, so 1, it has decreased the share of states in the central divisible pool from 42 to 41. This could seem to be like an illogical or unreasonable kind of reduction, but this is not. The 14th Finance Commission or 15th Finance Commission has actually retained the recommendation of the 14th by having the percentages the same. For example, 1% has reduced because of the Jammu and Kashmir not being a state but rather a union territory. Okay, right. So statement number 2. While 14th Finance Commission made recommendations for sector specific grant, 15th Finance Commission has not specified any sector specific grant is incorrect, and therefore the answer is 1 only. Question number 67. Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Nirman launched by the government aims at A. What is this? This PM Poshan, you could have a doubt in B. B is Poshan Abhiyan. This B is Poshan Abhiyan. Poshan Abhiyan scheme, which is an umbrella scheme which tries to enhance the reach of food security. A is midday meal scheme. The new name for the central midday meal scheme is what is called as the Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Nirman. And for the answer is A. Option C is regarding Mission Antyodaya. Option D is the National Food Security Act. Question number 80. Premium collected by an insurance company, credit card issued by a bank, social welfare activities undertaken by an NGO. Which of the above constitutes the real sector? There are two distinctions, major distinctions, or 3 to be precise, in the economy. But this is not the classification that we are using as of now, but this has been in the economic terms for many years. In the classical economics, we use this term. That is 1, real sector, financial sector, real sector, financial sector, and government sector. These are the 3 major classifications. Okay. The real sector here speaks about 3 and 4, not 1 and 2. These 2 are financial sectors. And therefore, where is 3 and 4? Option C. So, C will be the correct option for question number 80. 81. Government bond yields are influenced by which of the following? This is also a previous year question. All of this 1, 2, 3. Everything will be giving. Okay, everything will be influencing it. Question number 82. Under Industrial Policy Resolution 1956, the license method was used. Why was it used? Increasing the exports, promoting industries. Yes. Controlling the number of commodities in the economy. We may not know. Let's say. Promoting contribution of services sector in place of agriculture sector. No. We didn't give such a priority for services during 1956. So remove 4. Now you have increasing the exports. This should not have been, because we were an inward looking economy at that time. We were not quite open. We opened the economy only after 1990s. So logically, 1 should also not be there. 2 and 3. Consider the following statements. IRDAI was the first financial regulator of India after RBI is incorrect. Right, IRDA Act was enacted in the year 1999 and it was established in the year 2000. Even prior to that, we had many regulators ranging from NABARD to SEBI. Even SEBI has been established in 1992 itself. Okay. Separate licenses are required for providing life insurance and non-life insurance. Yes. This is correct. 1 is incorrect. So question number 95, the answer is B. Question number 96, when the government generates lesser revenue, which means if at all it's having a deficit, what can it do? Understand, what can it resort to? See, the key here is can, not should or may. Minting of new coins. Issuance of dated securities, obviously. Borrowing from multilateral institutions, obviously. But have you seen an instance of government borrowing from multilateral institutions whenever it is having government deficit? No, it will not. It will be mostly sourcing it from the market. Why do we do this? As a principle, as an economic principle of not getting or not paying any undertaking activity that could be prejudicial to economic sovereignty only. We are not borrowing directly to finance our deficit. Why don't we mint new coins? Because minting of new coins or printing of new currency is going to be inflationary in nature. But that should not be clouding your thoughts. Here the question is, when a government is doing, what can it do? It can do all of this. It can mint new coins. You could be thinking that coins are very low in denominations. Of course, because of practical purposes only, we are minting low denomination coins. But if at all there is a crisis and the government wants to issue a 2000 rupee coin, of course it can. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, all are possibilities, and therefore the answer for this will be 1, 2, and 3. So question number 97, Spices Board is a statutory body. Yes, of course, it is a statutory body. I have phrased this question on the lines of the last year's question on Tea Board. Okay, so Tea Board, Spices Board, Coffee Board, all of these boards, commodity boards, are not attached to the Ministry of Culture, Agriculture and Farmers, but rather to the Ministry of Commerce. Okay, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and therefore 3 is incorrect. So remove 3. We have 1 and 4, 1, 2, and 4. You need to know whether 2 is right or wrong. Logically speaking, spices, the headquarters of the biggest state, the state which sources spices in a huge quantity is Kerala, and therefore this is correct. So 1, 2, and 4. 4 is just there to upset you or to intimidate you. It is not having any value in this question. Okay, so 1, 2, and 4. Option B will be the correct option for this question number 97. Okay, I think that's it. There's one other question. Question number 99. Helps in moderating inflation. Always increases liquidity in the economy, undertaken by the government and RBI to control liquidity. Which of the following is true regarding open market operation? Not the government. Government does not play a part. It is the RBI that undertakes open market operation. Therefore, 3 is incorrect. Now, always increases liquidity is also incorrect, because OMO can happen in both ways. It can either infuse liquidity or it can absorb liquidity, and therefore the answer is 1 only. Okay, I think that's up for economy questions. Thank you. We'll also meet in the next discussion.
So welcome to the mock 3 discussion of the geography part. So let us begin with question number 10, which reads, which among the following conditions or regions temperature increases with increasing elevation? So they're essentially asking for normal conditions. The opposite of this is, you may have read it as temperature inversion. So they're asking for regions or conditions where temperature inversion won't happen. So temperature increases with increasing elevation. Okay. So your answer should be D, Delhi, for this one. Stable atmospheric conditions and permafrost regions. In permafrost regions, due to snow-covered grounds, it results in maximum heat reflection of the incoming solar radiations. Okay, so your second statement is true, and the other conditions required for temperature inversion are long winter nights, cloudless and clear skies, and dry air near the ground surface, slow movement of air, etc. So what essentially happens in temperature inversion is a hot pocket or a hot mass of air, it settles above a cold mass which is denser. So when this happens, the cold air gets trapped and the water molecules present in the denser air will cause something called as fog. So this thing happens during a temperature inversion. So they're asking for such conditions. So it happens in permafrost regions and stable atmospheric conditions. Okay. So they're asking for temperature inversion, not the opposite of this, temperature inversion. So in reality, the temperature decreases. Actually, in normal conditions, temperature decreases with increasing elevation. Only in temperature inversion conditions, temperature increases with increasing elevation. Okay, so your answer is D, Delhi. Question 11. Which among the following are the characteristics of red soil in India? So red soil are found in the peninsular plateau of India, and they're crystalline and metamorphic. They're basically made of crystalline and metamorphic rocks. So this one is correct. It is rich in potash but poor in phosphate and nitrogen. This is also correct if you had read the properties of red soil. And if you know how the red soil looks, it is loamy in nature. It contains a lot of loam, LOAM. So this is a minute particle, a really small particle, the loam, and it does not retain any water. When you pour water in red soil, the water seeps through the soil immediately. Okay, so if you had some knowledge about this, you could have eliminated 3, and the right answer becomes A, 1 and 2. Consider the following statements regarding pulses in India. It can be cultivated in all 3 seasons. This is absolutely right. It can be cultivated in Kharif, Rabi, as well as Zaid, the summer season. MSP is provided for all the different varieties of pulses grown in India. So MSP right now is being given only for 23 crops, and out of that, only 5 crops are pulses. But as you can imagine, that there should be a lot of varieties of pulses than just 5. Something like chickpea and all are not covered under MSP. Okay, so MSP right now is being given only for gram, tur, moong, urad, and lentils. Okay, so statement 2 is wrong, statement 1 is right. Your answer is A. Question 40. Consider the following statements about Bordeaux laws. So you may not have heard, for people who haven't heard of this term, this actually refers to the summer rains, the rains that happen in the mid of April. They are called as mango showers. Mango showers or cherry blossom showers. culturally it's called as Kal Baisakhi in places like Assam and Bengal, or Baisakhi rains, etc. Okay, so they are dry winds causing, they're not dry winds, they're rainfall. So this statement is wrong. They are usually seen at the end of southwest monsoon. End of southwest monsoon roughly occurs during late September or October. So this is also wrong. These rains, the Baisakhi rains, they happen during the mid-April or late April. Okay, so your answer is neither one nor two. So neither one nor two. For 40, the answer is D, Delhi. 41. Which of the following factors is or are the causes of land subsidence? So land subsidence can be defined as something that is the downward vertical movement of the Earth's surface, which can be brought on by both natural and human forces. So it is not just land natural; it can be due to human factors as well. So all the above is the right answer for this one, because any of these factor can potentially cause land subsidence, land to subside. Okay, so your answer for 41 is D, Delhi. 42. Which of the following statements is incorrect about coronal holes? So coronal holes or holes on, not essentially holes, they are imaginary holes on the surface of the sun, where the solar material is very less and the coronal activity is also minimal. So going by that logic, you could easily deduce that they will be having low temperatures and thus appear much brighter than their surroundings. They won't appear brighter, they appear darker because of the low temperature, because of this word hole, absence of solar activity there, very less solar activity. Okay, so they're asking for the incorrect statement, so B should be the right answer. 42, B, Bombay. 47. In which among the major earthquake prone belts of the world, the earthquakes and volcanisms are associated with the tectonic plate divergence? So they're asking where divergence is happening across all these tectonic boundaries. The first one, circum-Pacific belt, which is also known as the Ring of Fire. So if you had seen the tectonic map of the world on how the plates behave with each other, you'll realize that this is not a divergent belt, this is a convergent belt. Okay, so actually the Pacific Ocean with respect to Asia and the Americas are shrinking. So this is a converging boundary, and divergence does not take place there. So eliminating option 1, you can easily go for 3, but we'll still do 2 and 3. Mid-continental belt. So some of you may not know what this mid-continental means. This one is the only tectonic boundary which goes through the middle of a continent. Okay, so this extends from Eurasia till Java or Sumatra Islands. Okay, so that is, I'm talking about the boundary between the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. So this is also a convergence plate, and only because of this convergence we have Himalayas right now. Okay, so if there was no convergence, Himalayas would not be there, and this plate is still converging, which is why the height of Himalayas is increasing every year. Okay, so this is also a convergence boundary. Mid-Atlantic belt. Mid-Atlantic belt, as you people know, this is an easy one. It is a divergent belt, plate boundary, where the crustal plates, the plates are moving apart, and when they move apart, the magma is coming to the surface, and this is causing volcanic activities, and new islands are coming up, and Atlantic Ocean is widening and Pacific Ocean is shrinking. These are the clues you should have in order to get answers like this correct. Okay, so answer for 47 is C, 3 only. 48. The latitude that passes through Sikkim does not pass through. So this one, for this one, you need to have a pictorial memory of the map of India, which is essential for this exam. So Sikkim has a latitude somewhat a little south of Delhi. So Haryana has some territory even south of Delhi. Okay, so if this is Delhi, Haryana goes something like this. Okay, and Sikkim will be having this latitude. So if this is passing through Haryana, it will definitely pass through UP as well, because UP is much south than that, and UP extends a little northward as well, and Rajasthan also. Rajasthan will be somewhere here. So the latitude passes through all these three states, but not Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is located somewhere a little more north than Uttar Pradesh. So your answer should be C for question 48. Okay, not pass through. Same latitude that does not pass through Sikkim. Okay, so the answer for 48 is C, Uttarakhand. Consider the following pairs. They have given national waterways and rivers. So it's actually National Waterway 1, which has Hooghly in it, which flows from Prayagraj, that is Allahabad, till West Bengal. So the Ganga river system and Hooghly, they come under National Waterway 1. So 1 is wrong. Again, eliminating just 1 will give you the right answer here. National Waterway 5 is in between Odisha and West Bengal, and that's where River Brahmini is. And National Waterway 4 is the one that is closest to our place, which flows from Kakinada to Pondicherry, and it involves the river systems of both Godavari as well as Krishna. And in Tamil Nadu, it passes through Buckingham Canal. Okay, so this is also right. Your answer is B, Bombay, for 49. 2 and 3 only. 62. Fujiwara effect recently seen in news is related to which of the following? So now that a geography teacher is explaining, you'll know that the answer for this should be interaction of cyclones. So Fujiwara effect is a cyclonic effect which happens in the same sea, same region of same sea, which is not separated by a distance of 1,400 kilometers, and which have an influence on each other. Okay, so imagine two cyclones on the same sea, not separated by a distance more than 1,400 kilometers, and they will be having an influence on over each other. Okay, so this is what's called as Fujiwara effect, interaction of cyclones. Consider the following statements. Tea can grow well in waterlogged condition. This is absolutely wrong. So there is a reason why they grow tree on hilly regions, where especially on the slopes, because waterlogged condition is not at all good for the root of the tea. In fact, it's injurious to the root of the tea plant. Okay, so statement 1 is wrong. Statement 2, coffee can grow well under frost conditions compared to tea. So coffee cannot tolerate frost. Coffee can neither tolerate frost nor bright sunshine. So it cannot have a temperature of more than 30 degrees nor sub-zero conditions. Okay, so both the statements are wrong in this. Your answer for 57 is D, Delhi. 58. Consider the following statements about easterly jet streams. They are formed over the Indian subcontinent during winter. So easterly jet streams, like the name suggests, they originate from the east and flow westward, east to west. Okay, they are formed over the Indian subcontinent during winter. No, they are formed during the summer. Okay, they are thermally formed. So jet streams which are thermally formed or thermally induced can begin or can be directly formed thermally only in two places, that is in the poles or near the equators. Okay, so this is right, they are thermally formed. Any jet stream that's happening in between these two permanent ones, or near the equator or near the poles, apart from these, they are not thermally formed. They are a resultant of these jet streams. Okay, so this one is correct, because easterly jet stream is formed near the Indian subcontinent, close to the equator, and they are thermally formed. Third one, they are helpful in pushing southeast monsoon branch over India. So this is also right. Okay, the other jet stream, the westerly jet stream, that helps in pushing the north. So it should be southwest. Okay, so the northeast monsoon, it gets pushed to India, the other part. That is also correct. So the answer for 58 is B, Bombay. 2 and 3 only. Consider the following statements with reference to the distribution of elements. Silicon is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust. So this one is wrong because silicon is not the most abundant element, it is iron. That's most abundant, not iron, sorry. In the Earth's crust, it is oxygen. They're asking for element, it's oxygen. Second one, iron is the most abundant element in the Earth's composition. So this one is correct, okay? In the entire composition of the Earth, iron is the most abundant element. This one is true. Third one, oxygen is the most abundant element in the Earth's atmosphere. So just a little remembrance of what you studied in school. Nitrogen composes of more than 73%. Okay, so the nitrogen is the most abundant, not oxygen. So your answer for this one is A, 2 only. Question 59, your answer is A, 2 only. Question 71. There are two statements labeled as assertion and reasoning. So they have given an assertion. The bluer the sky, the cleaner the air. So this one is true, no doubt about it. Gas molecules more effectively scatter the longer wavelengths. So this one is actually wrong. Gas molecules actually effectively scatter shorter wavelengths. Okay, and also this is not an explanation for the assertion. Okay, so the right answer should be A is true, but R is false. C for question 71. 72. Arcuate deltas. So they're asking some statements regarding the arcuate deltas. It is formed when river water is denser than seawater. So this one is wrong. Arcuate deltas are formed when the density of the river water is same as that of the seawater. Okay, so statement 1 is wrong. It is statement they have given it correctly in statement 2. So you may have compared statement 1 and 2 and figured out that one of them should be definitely wrong. Okay, and also there is no option which has both statement 1 and 2. Statement 1 is wrong. When river water is denser than seawater, the type of delta that's formed is estuarine. When the river water has the same density as that of the seawater, then you get arcuate deltas. When the density of river water is lesser than that of the seawater, then you get something called as bird foot delta. Okay, so like I said, statement 2 is right. Then same, the river water density and the seawater density are same, so you get arcuate deltas. It is also known as growing delta. So this is also true because the river water brings in a lot of silt. It keeps depositing and its density is not lesser than that of seawater. So it is same as seawater. So it keeps depositing the silt along the coast, and the delta size keeps growing year after year. Okay, so the right answer for this one is D, 2 and 3. Question 72, the right answer is D, Delhi. 73. Consider the following statements regarding tides. The tide generating force is the difference between the two forces, the gravitational attraction of the moon and the centripetal force. So the force required to generate tides is actually, it is the difference between two forces, that is gravitational attraction of the moon. Let's say this is planet Earth and this is moon. So in order to cause tides here, it has to pull using its gravity. Difference between gravitational attraction of the moon and the centripetal force. So now you may have a confusion here. What's centripetal force and centrifugal force? Centripetal force is the tendency of a body that acts inwards, okay, to keep the body in the circular motion. So the right answer here is not the centripetal force, it's centrifugal force. So centrifugal force, the difference between the gravitational attraction of the moon and the centrifugal force is what causes the tides, and the resultant is what's called as tide generating force. Okay, so this one is wrong. Normally, there is a 7-day interval between the spring tides and the neap tides. So this one is correct. Okay, this is a fact, and we also we normally observe the difference of roughly 7 to 8 days difference between spring and neap tides. Okay, so the answer for 73rd question is B, Bombay. Which among the following crops can be considered as drought tolerant crops in India? So all of these crops are drought tolerant in nature. So recently they figured out some drought tolerant property of chickpea. It can resist both heat as well as drought. So that is the news, and that's why this question has found its place. And millets, especially since this is the International Year of Millets, this question has a special place. Okay, so that's it for geography.
Very good evening, friends. Welcome to the explanation session for the mock test 3. I hope you all done your best, and let's see and check with the keys. Biodiversity Management Committees. Question number 13. Okay. Question number 13. Biodiversity Management Committee is constituted at which level of the government? Now, this is a statutory body under Biological Diversity Act, BD Act 2002. So, this is constituted at the local level by the local bodies under section 41 of the Act. And it is known to have one chairperson and 6 members who are nominated by the local bodies. It also has to have 1/3 of the representation by the women. So that's what we can talk about Biodiversity Management Committee, and the answer is local body level. The answer is C. The next question, question number 14. Which of the following is considered as organic farming practices? Organic means, look at the word organic, it means it does not allow anything which is inorganic. The common fertilizers that we use, chemical fertilizers or pesticides that we use, they are inorganic in nature. So that is the clue you should have. So no form of chemical inputs in the form of fertilizers or pesticides is allowed in the organic farming. In addition, it also does not allow the use of GM crops. Everything else comes in the organic farming in the form of organic input, such as organic waste, green manure, and crop rotation. All these are taken up in the organic farming, but zero chemical input. So no use of GM crops, correct. No tillage. Now that is little trickier. In organic farming, they do not stress about the tillage. They allow tillage to a certain extent, because that is not the concern of organic farming. The main concern of organic farming is chemical inputs. So no tillage, no, that is not considered to be a characteristics. What is the characteristics? No use of GM crop. That is a clue. Where 3 and 3 comes 1. So this cannot be the answer. So let's see, rational use of fertilizers and pesticides. No, it does not support the use. So therefore the correct answer is 3 only. You should have known. I'm sorry. The answer is 1 and 3. Because 1, even tillage is also not a bigger aspect of organic farming. So the answer is 1 and 3. Let's move to question number 15. Consider the following statements with respect to compressed biogas. Compressed biogas is the biogas produced from anaerobic fermentation. This usually contains 50 to 55% of methane, about 40 to 45% of carbon dioxide, and the remaining trace amounts of hydrogen sulfide. This is what naturally the methane produced in biomethane plants is made up of. Now that has to be purified. From 50 to 55% of methane, if it is increased to 90 to 92%, then it is very similar to natural gas, because natural gas is also methane. The only difference, what is the concentration? If it's a biogas, it is 50 to 55%. If it is a natural gas, it's 90 to 92%. So when we increase it, then it becomes similar to natural gas. Now remember that. Now let's see the first statement. Biogas is purified to remove carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide gases to prepare CBG. Yes, CBG stands for compressed biogas. Second, CBG has a calorific value similar to CNG, compressed natural gas, and hence can be utilized as a green renewable automotive fuel. Yes, it is a green renewable automotive fuel. Correct. It is also correct. The CBG can be transported through cylinder cascades or pipelines to retail outlets. That is also correct. All the three statements, 1, 2, and 3 is the right answer. Question number 20. Consider the following statements with respect to the phenomena of solar cycle. Solar cycle has a total of 22 years with two halves, two phases, solar minima and solar maxima. Solar minima for 11 years, solar maxima for 11 years, totally 22 years. But the statement says it's a total of 11-year cycle, which is wrong. So 1 is wrong. So this can be eliminated, this can be eliminated. Second, during solar minima phase, there is an absence of the event of aurora borealis. Now we need to understand, it is not absence. Even during the solar minima, sun is active. But when the sun is active, the charged particles it is throwing up in the space, when it interacts with the Earth's atmosphere, it forms aurora phenomenon. The aurora phenomenon will be lesser during minima phase. During maxima phase, it will be higher. So therefore, during solar minima, the aurora phenomenon will be lesser. It is not absent. So this is also wrong. The correct answer is neither 1 nor 2. Question number 21. Consider the following statements with organism and a communication signal. It may be a little trickier, but remember, if you know the basics, it's a very easy question. Don't worry about all this. Just stick with this guy, dolphin. And what is the communication signal dolphin uses? You would have known echolocation. Dolphin is very well known to use echolocation, using sound. Here, where the sound reference comes, acoustic. Acoustic is a reference to sound. So therefore, dolphin and this are wrongly matched. Correct? So which of the facts given above is correctly matched? This is wrong. What about Oliver Ridley turtles? In fact, it's inverse too. See, okay, forget that. 1 is wrongly matched, right? See, that's the answer. So don't worry about the entire question. If you pick one thing which you know very sure and you stick with it and try to eliminate most often, if not all the questions in UPSC, some of the questions you can easily get it. So knife fish is something very similar to eel fish, which has the ability to create electric current within their bodies. It is known to create electricity, electric voltage in the tail tissues. But the potency of the electricity generated is not as strong as a eelfish. Eelfish can even electrocute you, but knife fish does not do so. So this is correct, but both these are wrong. The correct answer is 3 only. Question number 24. Bioasphalt. Asphalt is nothing but the bitumen which are used for laying the roads. But this has its own negative consequences. So rather than asphalt, let us use other alternatives which are renewable in nature, and that includes molasses, bagasse, the used oil, used crude oil. All this can also be used as an alternative for the bitumen, and that's called as bioasphalt. So bioasphalt is made from non-petroleum based renewable resources such as palm oil and lignin. Perfectly correct. Second, it can improve functional properties of the asphalt, like making roads quieter. The roads, when we use, imagine a road which is rubbled, a rubbled road. When you drive a vehicle, you will have a lot of sound. But if it's a smooth bitumen road, you can see the vehicle moves very smoothly, reducing the noise. That is what the asphalt is doing. It acts as a binding agent, keeping the particles very tighter so that the vehicle can travel faster. It makes it quieter. Yes. It also increases rolling resistance. And third, it also decreases urban heat island phenomenon. Why? Because Bioasphalt may be non-black colored. If it is non-black colored, its ability to absorb sunlight, we can call it as albedo, is significantly reduced, and therefore it reduces urban heat island effect. And for this question, 1 is correct, 2 is correct. Answer is both 1 and 2. Question 25, glyphosate. You must have heard about GM mustard. Recently been in the news, and GM mustard is known to be resistant to one type of a herbicide that is called as glyphosate. GM mustard exhibits the characteristics of glyphosate resistance, and glyphosate therefore is nothing but herbicide commonly used to kill weeds. That is what the answer is. Question number 28. Earth Overshoot Day is celebrated by which of the following organization? Global Footprint Network, which was started in the year 2003. It is a non-for-profit organization started in 2003, which calculates the Earth Overshoot Day. What is Earth Overshoot Day? In a year, the day when the demand on the Earth's natural resources surpasses the ability of the Earth to provide. It means we are demanding more. We are running in debt. Now that day is called as Earth Overshoot Day. And this day is calculated by the Global Footprint Network. And what is the Earth Overshoot Day for last year, for 2022? It is July 28. Which means January to July 28, when the day July 28 comes, that's it. It is until this, the Earth is able to supply the resources we need. After July 28, it means we are running on debt. We are making a stress on the Earth's resources. So that is calculated by Global Footprint Network. Question number 29. Which of the following characteristics are generally observed in the dead zones of oceans around the world? Dead zones of the oceans, particularly known to be seen mostly in Black Sea. Black Sea is very well known for dead zones. Dead zones is because the presence of the presence of organisms in that area seems to be very lesser. That's what called as dead zones. And therefore, next question comes: why there is a dead zone? Why there is almost an absence of microorganisms or living organisms? The reason is very simple: non-availability of oxygen. And non-availability of oxygen creates conditions where the living organisms cannot be supported there. The next question comes: why that happens? Now that happens because of some reasons, mostly due to algal blooms. So algal blooms happens, which results in non-availability of oxygen, which in turn results in creation of dead zones. So when we see that, we can say all three are connected. Yes, it is associated with the algal blooms. Dead zones is nothing but hypoxic conditions. It is also, no, it is not associated with the diverse coral reefs. I'm sorry for that. It will result in reduced presence of coral reefs. So this is wrong. The correct answer is 1 and 2A. Question number 30. With reference to biomethanation, consider the following statements. Biomethanation means the natural process of the formation of methane by microorganisms. It is a process of converting organic waste. Yes, not the inorganic, it is organic. It is a process of converting organic waste materials into a clean energy. What is the clean energy we are talking? We are talking methane. Under anaerobic conditions, yes, this production of methane, remember, always happens in anaerobic condition. The production of methane will never happen in aerobic conditions. So it meets all the conditions. 1 is correct. Second statement: along with methanogenic archaea, what else are involved in this methane production? Remember, methane production is primarily done by this group of bacteria. But in addition, it is also aided by other organisms like fermenting bacteria and oxidizing bacteria. That's very true. Both 1 and 2. இது என்ன தெரியுமா லாஜிக்? You cannot find anything so pure in nature. Even the minerals, the ores, everything is mixed. If something is happening in the production of methane, how can you say that only this is present? Nothing else is present. How can you say that? Use a simple logic. So, இது மட்டும் கிடையாது. Even these are also found. So, this is also correct. The answer is both 1 and 2. Question number 50. Which of the following animal species are known for their annual migration? Yes. This is also can be easily attempted by elimination. Red crab, you may not be very aware of. In fact, red crab is in fact a species very well known for their annual migration, which is found in Australia's Christmas Island. You can pictures during this time, the whole roads will be covered with the red colored crab. They move. That's actually Christmas Island of Australia. So, but that is one thing which you must be aware of in terms of the migratory behavior. Wildebeest you should have been known, and salmon. Salmon is also known for the migration. Now try to find out the correct answer. Salmon, wherever 3 comes, 1, 2, 3. So this can be eliminated first level. Wildebeest is also known for migration. Where 4 comes, so this can be eliminated. So only these 2 remain. Now the next question, whether bats are able to migrate. Not all bats are known for migration, but there are some fruit bats. In Zambia are known for their migratory behavior in a regular fashion. So we can say bats are also migratory in nature, and therefore the answer is 1, 2, 3 and 4. The answer is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Red crab I already told you, Australia, Christmas Island. Wildebeest, Africa. Question number 51 about deep sea mining. The first question asks, what is deep sea? Deep sea is a place where the light penetration decreases considerably, where it becomes darker. Darker than deep sea. Or there is another way. It is a point of transition from the continental slope. The point of transition from the continental slope is called as deep sea. It is second definition. One light which is solrom. Second continental slope which is solrom. Continental slope upper deep sea solrom. Continental slope until up to continental slope, it is part of the continent. It is beyond that where the deep sea emerges. So that, or the more specifically, they have a kind of idea, like we say exclusive economic zone about 220 nautical to 200 nautical miles. Deep sea mining, this may look like a factual question, but this wants to test you whether you understood it or not. It is not 100, it's 200. It's 200 meters. Once again, remember meters. The depth is 200 meters. It is beyond the 200 meters, it becomes darker. And that is what called as deep sea mining. It is associated with oceanic noise pollution. Yes. Any mining activity can create undesirable noises, which is about to affect the biodiversity of the region. And what are the prospects associated with the deep sea mining? Polymetallic nodules rich in manganese, cobalt crust rich in cobalt, zinc and gold. It also results in supermassive sulfides. Supermassive sulfides. These are the 3 major prospects associated with the deep sea mining. So therefore, all the first statement is wrong. 2 and 3 is correct. The answer is C, 2 and 3. Question 52. Which of the elements compounds may be a part of the solar waste? This is also an easy question if you know how to eliminate. Solar waste should not contain radioactive minerals. This is a radioactive mineral. Polonium is also a radioactive mineral. You would have heard about an event where a Russian spy was openly poisoned, radio poisoned in London, where he and his daughter died. He was actually a former KGB agent. He defected from Russia, and therefore KGB targeted him back, and he was poisoned. And the poison it was polonium. He died within 10 days. So it is a very extremely radioactive. Can you ever expect polonium to be used in solar panels? It is unthinkable. So radiological materials cannot be used. That includes radium and polonium. And what's the correct answer? Cadmium, gallium arsenide, 1 and 2. They also use graphene. In addition to this, they also use graphene, cadmium, telluride. And obviously silicon. These are the other materials that are used in solar panels. So in solar waste, what will be found? Only these will be found. you can think, okay, if a question comes, cadmium toxicity is associated, correct, it may happen because cadmium telluride is used in solar panels, true, because cadmium is heavy metal. Arsenic toxicity, can it happen with the solar waste? That also can happen because gallium arsenide is a component used. In the cadmium or arsenic, others will not be found in the solar waste. Right. So the answer is 1 and 2. Question number 60 about biosimilar drugs. What is a biosimilar drug? For example, I have an antibiotic. Okay. Let's say I have let's say paracetamol. Paracetamol, summa, if I put a structure like this, let's say it's something like this. Let's say this is paracetamol. It's a drug. We use it to alleviate pains. But what about insulin? Insulin is not like this. Insulin is a protein. Okay. So this is a product made naturally in a living organism. But paracetamol, we made it artificially in laboratories, in pharmaceutical industry. But this is made naturally. Now what happens is, if this is being patented by some company, if some other company create a similar of the same drug, but you know what happened? They cannot make it like a paracetamol drug. If, for example, let's say paracetamol drug, now many companies make it because it's a generic drug. Anybody can make it in a laboratory and sell it. But insulin, let's say patented insulin, now it's no more patented. If I can also make insulin, what I have to do? I cannot create a laboratory. I have to grow it inside a bacteria and then I have to purify that. That kind of a drug is called as biosimilars. So biosimilars and generics are closer to each other. However, we have the simple point is brand drugs we have. What are brand drugs? They are patented. And this can be called as generic if it is a pharmaceutical drug. If it's a pharmaceutical drug, it can be called as a biosimilar if it is a biological drug, like hormones, enzymes. It is called as biosimilar. We have a brand drug. If its patent expires, what do we call it? We call it generic drug. If it is a pharmaceutical drug, we call it a biosimilar. If it's a biological drug like insulin. Now, once you understand this, it becomes very similar. Now, they are talking about biosimilars. Biosimilar has a structure that is highly similar to, but functionally different from a brand name. Imagine. Original insulin irukku, adoda function enna namakku theriyum. If I create a biosimilar which is functionally different, you think it is going to be useful? It doesn't solve the purpose. Idhe function na ivanga pannanum. Then tell me what the first statement? It is wrong. The correct statement enna appadina, it has a structure that is similar to, not exact, similar to, but functionally it is the same. That is a correct statement. Second statement, so one is wrong. Second statement, it has more therapeutic effects. It's not like it is something more. It has the same therapeutic effect as a drug. So second is also wrong. The answer is neither one nor two. Question number 61. Adaptation of plants in desert areas. Desert areas are known for drier conditions and water availability is always scarce. In that condition, the plants has to adapt to meet this challenge. They have to reduce their water loss. The point is reducing water loss. Eppadilam pannalam? Thick cuticle on the leaf surface. Yes. Second, stomata are arranged in deep pits because stomata is what the openings are through which water escapes. If it is arranged in deep pit, that loss is minimized. That is also true. Stomata to remain closed during daytime. This is a very different thing. There is something called as camp plants. Normally, plants open the stomata during daytime. But the point is, during daytime, sunlight is also there. So they lose a lot of water. There are some plants called as camp plants. You know what they do? They open the stomata only during night time. No sunlight. They open the sunlight happily. They do whatever they want. The daytime, they close. So it minimizes water loss, correct? So stomata to remain closed during daytime, yare, camp plants. It is also adaptation by the desert plants. Then flattened stem, you would have seen cacti, flattened stem. So all the four. Question number 63. It's a big thing if you analyze. There are certain critical hints given. You enter your preferences such as your preferred make and model, body type. You are giving multiple data, and based on the multiple data, you get a result. So the result has to come from multiple searches. This is what called as linked data. Linked data is a characteristics of Web 3.0. Okay, one. So semantic web is nothing but Web 3.0. So that is tick. Second, it uses speech recognition, which means natural language processing technology is also used. So that is also used. Then it analyzes your data and provides you with a personalized recommendation. It means it involves machine learning, which means it uses artificial intelligence. So this is also used. Then let's say it leverages linked data. It says it allows for the payment using cryptocurrency. It means they have to use blockchain. So the correct answer for this question is all the. Question number 64 about mitochondrial DNA. So mitochondrial DNA is circular in shape, correct? It is much smaller than nuclear DNA, correct? One is correct. So this can be eliminated. It is inherited maternally, correct? This is very true. It is inherited maternally, not paternally, and can be used to infer patterns of migration and gene flow. Perfectly correct, yes. 2 is correct. Its inheritance can lead to presence of different variants of mitochondria within a single gene. Yes, it is also correct. It is more resistant to degradation than nuclear DNA. In fact, last year Nobel Prize was given exactly for this purpose. Pabos was a scientist who involved with that, where he was involved in making contribution to paleogenomics. And in the paleogenomics, he analyzed Denisovans, hominins, and all the discovery he made was using mitochondrial DNA, because mitochondrial DNA can be stable more than nuclear DNA. So that is also correct. The correct answer is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Question number 68 about Govardhan scheme. It aims to promote local entrepreneurs to convert cattle dung and other organic resources to biogas and organic manure. Perfectly correct. It is an important element of ODF, open defecation free plus strategy. Yes. Under the scheme, states are to have at least one project per district. Yes, all the 3 is correct. That's what the key aspects of Govardhan scheme. Question number 69. Where coral reefs are not found? If you know the basic need of a coral reefs does not need a fresh water. It also does not need a sediment to settle on it. Otherwise, it cannot breathe well. When you say Sundarban Delta, which is where the Ganges and Brahmaputra is flowing into it, how much of fresh water will be there? So that is not suitable for coral reefs. But it is present in Konkan, Gulf of Mannar, Gulf of Kutch, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Yes, but not in Sundarban Delta. The answer is A. Question number 70. The Restoration Initiative, Bond Challenge and Orders Declaration. You may not be aware of this and this, but no problem. But you must be aware of Bond Challenge. So Bond Challenge, it was a 2013 initiative of Germany and IUCN. IUCN and Germany collaborated together to declare Bond Challenge, whereby 150 million hectares of degraded forests is to be revived by 2020. 150 million hectares by 2020 and 350 million hectares by 2030. That is what the Bond Challenge is about. So Bond Challenge is about combating land degradation and desertification, which means they are all deals with the same thing. So for the question number 70, A is the right answer. Question number 85, Dublin Principles. So Dublin Principles also, it was actually a consequence of 1993 International Conference on Water and Environment held at Dublin. And the outcome of that is the Dublin Principles, which results in called as 5 principles on water conservation and management. 5 principles on water conservation and management. That's what the Dublin principles are standing for. So the correct answer is, if you follow the principles, it helps to deal with the water scarcity. So 85th, A is answer. Question number 87, graveyard orbit. So we have Earth, we have very close orbit called as low Earth orbit. We have another faraway orbit called the geosynchronous orbit. Geosynchronous orbit is about 36,000 kilometers away. Now, what is a graveyard orbit? It's just 300 kilometers away. Any satellite which has beyond its lifetime, we cannot bring it back here. It's very far distance. We simply move it here and park it here as a graveyard. So that is a graveyard, which is 300 kilometers is correct. But beyond what? Not this, not this, it is this. 300 kilometers away from geosynchronous orbit is the right answer for this. Question number 88, Bombay blood group. Usually, you would have heard about A antigen and B antigen. Okay, but this is something like this. Imagine this is your blood cell. Imagine this is your block. If you are a A antigen person, you will be having something like this. If you are a B antigen, you will be having something like this. Imagine. If you are a AB antigen, your blood will have both at the same time. If you are a O group, you will have nothing. You understand? If this is there, it's A. A antigen in the A group. B antigen in the, if it's a B antigen, it's a B group. If both the antigens are present in your blood cell, it is AB group. If that antigen is absent, it means O group. But what is the Bombay group? In the antigen, support the fundamental framework pair H antigen. Some people will not have even that H antigen. In the framework, something like this. State platform, and above the platform, A and B sits. There are rare kinds where the platform itself will be absent. They are called as Bombay blood group. So Bombay blood group, they can receive blood only from other Bombay blood groups. They cannot receive blood transfusion from any other persons. That is a rarity. So you can donate blood to all recipients. Okay, which of the following is correct? It refers to A blood group. He can accept blood only from another Bombay type. That is the correct answer. He cannot donate blood to all. That's very wrong. They will die. Question number, yeah. Yes, maybe. When you have an antigen, remember, when you have antigen, your body won't make antibodies for that antigen. For example, if you are a blood group person, imagine this is your blood group. Let's say this is that A group. Now your body will be having blood cells with this. You are A group, but your blood contains antibodies for B. When you give B blood group, all the blood will be destroyed. If it is B group, the reverse happens. If it is AB group, what happens? You will have no antibodies. Logic புரியுதா? A இருந்ததுனா A antibodies இருக்காது, B antibodies இருக்கும். எது இல்லையோ அதோட antibodies இருக்கும். அப்போ AB இருந்ததுனா you will have no antibodies. You can receive blood from anyone. Universal recipient. Okay? Yes. So last question, question number 100. Tiger reserves in the decreasing order. In fact, this is also very difficult. This one is in Assam. Dampa, it is in Mizoram. Amrabad, it is in Telangana. But one thing, if you are aware of the past question paper, you should have known, or at least the basic information, which is having the largest, which is the Tiger reserve with the largest core area. Nagarjuna Sagar Srisailam, 3,721 square kilometer area. This is the first one. So 2, where comes first? This. If you know this basic information, you can eliminate it easily. The correct answer is B. So thank you, friends. I hope that you get some important learnings. Keep doing it. The time is short. Push up. You can do well. My best wishes. Thank you.